Ladies and gentlemen, life has a way of knocking us down when we least expect it. There are moments when the dreams we've held on to seem to crumble right before our eyes. Some of you know what it feels like to invest your heart, your energy, your money, your time into something. Every setback you face is not the closing of your story. It is the opening of a new chapter that you didn't see coming. Too many people stop at the point of pain. They stop at the point of loss, and they think that moment defines them forever. But I want you to know something. Your setback is only a setup for a greater comeback. Think about it. Some of the greatest victories in history were born out of devastating defeats. Some of the most successful people you admire today once hit rock bottom. The difference is they didn't let the setback bury them. They let it teach them, prepare them, and push them toward something greater. When life throws you down, you have a choice: stay there or get up and write a different ending. The setback is not your permanent address. It's just a temporary stop on the road to your destiny. Too many people build a house in the middle of disappointment and call it their home. But you can't let failure become your identity. Failure is an event, not a person. That lost job, that broken relationship, that missed opportunity, it does not define who you are. What defines you is how you respond when life says no. The truth is, setbacks stretch us. They force us to dig deeper into our courage, our faith, and our determination. They show us how strong we really are. You don't know the strength you carry until life tests you. And when you push through, when you rise after being knocked down, you begin to understand that the setback was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to build you. It's like a bow pulling back an arrow. The further it's pulled back, the greater the force when it's released. The tension, the pull, the setback, it's preparing you for a launch into a new level. So stop asking, why me? And start asking, what's next? Stop replaying the pain and start rehearsing the possibility. Because if you only focus on what you lost, you'll never see what you're gaining. Sometimes losing that job pushes you into creating your own business. Sometimes that heartbreak clears the path for real love. Sometimes failing at one dream introduces you to the dream you were truly created for. The setback has purpose. You just have to be willing to see it. You are not finished. This isn't the end. It's the middle of your story. And the comeback is already written if you refuse to quit. Every champion has scars. Every victor has known defeat. Every comeback story is filled with chapters of pain, uncertainty, and fear. But what makes it powerful is the decision to rise again. So the next time you fall, remember this: the ground is not your destiny. It's just a place you pass through on your way to the mountaintop. The setback is your setup, and the comeback, your comeback, is going to be greater than anything you've ever imagined. Would you like me to expand keynote 2 from your topic in the same style about failure is not the end, it's feedback? Failure is not the end, it's feedback. Too many of us grow up conditioned to fear failure, to avoid it, to run from it like it's the plague. We're taught that if you fail, you are less than, you are not good enough, you are not capable. But let me tell you something, failure is not your enemy. Failure is one of the greatest teachers you will ever meet in your life. Every time you fail, life is giving you a lesson. Life is holding up a mirror saying, here is what you need to work on. Here is what you need to refine. Here is what you need to change. It's not the end. It's simply feedback. Think about it. A baby doesn't start walking without falling. If every time that child fell, they decided, walking isn't for me, none of us would be walking today. The falling wasn't failure, it was feedback. It was life teaching balance, strength, and resilience. But as adults, somewhere along the way, we lose that courage to fall. We let embarrassment, judgment, and fear of rejection paralyze us. We see failure as final, instead of seeing it as information, as a roadmap toward mastery. The truth is, the people who succeed the most are the ones who fail the most. They've collected feedback after feedback, lesson after lesson, and instead of quitting, they applied those lessons. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of success. You cannot separate the two. Every great inventor, every great leader, every great athlete has a record of failures that prepared them for their victories. They didn't see failure as a stop sign, they saw it as a detour toward the right destination. Failure whispers to you. It says, "This strategy didn't work, try another one. This path is blocked, find another." It's feedback guiding you closer to where you need to be. If you avoid failure, you avoid growth. If you run from failure, you run from wisdom. If you fear failure, you fear the very thing that will make you strong enough to succeed. So instead of saying, "I failed," start saying, "I learned." Instead of saying, "I can't," start saying, "I will adjust." When you adopt this mindset, nothing can stop you, because then every setback is fuel. Every rejection is redirection. Every mistake becomes a stepping stone. That's the feedback loop of greatness. Now let's talk about resilience, because resilience is what allows you to rise again and again, no matter how many times you've been knocked down. Life will test you. Life will knock the wind out of you. Life will throw punches you never saw coming. But resilience is the muscle that allows you to take the hit, and keep standing. To bend but not break, to cry but not quit. Resilience is the proof that you are stronger than anything that tried to defeat you. Resilience isn't about pretending you're not hurt. It's not about ignoring the pain. It's about feeling the pain and deciding to keep moving anyway. It's about saying, "Yes, I'm wounded, but I'm not finished. Yes, I'm tired, but I'm not done. Yes, I've been knocked down, but I refuse to stay down." That's resilience. And let me tell you, the world doesn't respect the one who never fell. The world respects the one who fell 100 times and still had the courage to rise on the 100. And first, when you build resilience, you become unstoppable, because you know storms will come, but storms don't last forever. You know challenges will come, but challenges are just opportunities in disguise. You know that setbacks will come, but you're not afraid anymore, because you've been through enough to understand that you can survive. Resilience turns fear into faith. It turns pain into power. It turns obstacles into opportunities. Think of a palm tree in the middle of a hurricane. Every other tree might snap, might fall, might break. But the palm bends, it sways with the storm, and when the storm passes, it's still standing. That's resilience. You may bend, but you won't break. You may cry, but you won't quit. You may fall, but you will rise. And here's the beautiful part. Resilience is built through failure. Every time you fail and get back up, you're building resilience. Every time life says no and you keep going, you're building resilience. Every time you face rejection, disappointment, or heartbreak and still choose to move forward, you're building resilience. It's not something you're born with, it's something you cultivate. And the more you cultivate it, the stronger you become. You see, resilience doesn't just help you survive setbacks, it transforms you through them. It makes you wiser, tougher, and more compassionate. It allows you to look back at your darkest days and say, "I didn't think I'd make it, but I did." And that memory, that history of survival, becomes fuel for your future battles. You stop doubting yourself because you have evidence. You've made it through before, and you can make it through again. So when failure comes, and it will, don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Don't see it as the end of your story. Embrace it, study it, let it teach you, and then build your resilience on top of it, because failure is just feedback, and resilience is the proof that nothing can stop you when you refuse to quit. The combination of these two, Understanding failure and practicing resilience will make you unstoppable. You will no longer be afraid of falling because you know every fall is feedback. You will no longer be afraid of storms because you know you're resilient enough to stand. You will no longer be trapped by fear because you know that no matter what comes your way, you can handle it, you can rise, you can overcome. Failure is feedback. Resilience is power. And together, they make you unbreakable. A renewed vision changes everything. Without vision, you stumble through life, reacting instead of creating, existing instead of living. Vision is not about where you are right now. It's about where you are going, what you are becoming, and the life you're designing with your choices. When you renew your vision, you give yourself permission to dream again, to see beyond your current circumstances, to declare that your present condition is not your final destination. Too many people stop dreaming because life beat them up. They failed, they got hurt, they were disappointed, and they decided, maybe I'll just settle. Maybe I'm not meant to live that life I once saw in my heart. But let me